map too.
Yeah, and this is why I was saying before, it does not need to be the Astralis of the future we see right here in the server right now. They just need to put up a brand of Counter-Strike that is going to work to get them further at DreamHack Masters Spring.
Do you remember the individual-driven Counter-Strike we know Astralis used to be able to get away with? One of their individuals admittedly gone. Bubsky to fill that void. Let's see how we go. T-side start. You can see 1xBet does doubt them, as it does our desk. Nico, one of the most popular POVs. You can check that out if you're interested. The player POVs running simultaneous to the main broadcast if you fancy that, or if you're living that middle-class double monitor life. Straight down into Nico, and bye-bye. Quick opener. Immediately, Astralis have the lower sight, and this gets really awkward for G2 now. Unless they got some ramp swift taps. God, so much space has been taken already. I don't fancy their chances here at all, Chad.
It's going to get awkward here, and the fight could even be coming their way. More bodies now pushed up towards ramps. Zipek's ready with that USP, and Jax, well, he's tapped away at a couple, but can't find the frag.
Oh, he can. He can. He will. Bubsky, however, with the trade. 3-on-3. G2 surprised us on train with some of their late retakes, and well, there it is. Glaive's the one to fill the feed with a spectacular double. And all the hopes and dreams of G2's pistol out the window. Astralis, they do take the pistol.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, right? Because even without that AWP, Astralis don't need the AWP to get map control, right? You've just seen right there a vent drop. They can do the yard wall smokes, the ones who are mastering that within the early days. If they can play with G2's rotations, that's where they're going to find a lot of success here on the T side, and that will be their first T round of this series. A good way to kick things off here for the Danes.
I do love a crispy clock. Well, won't be seeing any more of those. That is just the pistol subsiding, and now it's going to be a lot of SMGs, and it looks like outside smokes for Astralis. Lobby controls. Zipex was unprepared. He was just unloading into the smoke, and now immediate lobby lost. That's a big problem for Astralis. They'll have to surge into the lower site, Chad.
No one's here yet. Well, Nexus just made his way down. Need a contest.
Yeah, they're very late on the contest, and now Dupree, one for none. Nex has got nothing to show for his push. They have slowed the plant. Smoke to push in on. Dark to be clear. Dupree's reload is there with the bomb. Very awkward damage, but no frag. Oh, Amanek, I think he thought he had that. And now, well, Nico just tapped away at good control of the Galil. Oof. Okay, so Astralis bringing pace to the game.
Yeah, I like that right there. And I thought after that lobby kill, there was a real chance. G2 were rotating, they were fast. They just didn't get their players in the right positions to set up those awkward crossfires on the lower bomb site. And Astralis walk away with the force by conversion. This is their chance to stretch the legs.
Are you hydrated, Jan?
I had to think it was about 1.5 litres before we left today.
Okay.
Quite a late start.
Shout out to the Hydro homies.
So
2.5, 3 litres. Fill your boots. Or your belly.
Yeah.
Don't put it in, your boots. That's not how you drink water.
Yeah, it's how you drink beer. And this one, well, there's just a couple of upgraded pistols, CZ75s, P250, and a couple of USPs as Dupree dancing with them in yard, just on a couple of jiggles. Zipex will get opening blood here in round number 3. Jax goes down, and now this is where this is going to become a very interesting game in my eyes. If G2 are able to stifle Astralis' map control, right, if they can make sure that the vent rotations are not an issue and they can make sure that Secret's not being given up without a fight, or they're plugging that gap very quickly, then we have a game, because now it's going to level out into more of those mid-round scenarios. But if they're just getting the space, that's where I think we'll be seeing a lot of saves, right? Oh, they're already lower, G2 have to save. Oh, well, they're already at full yard control, G2 have to save.
Look at all the space he's got. He won't be able to transfer it, and Nico still standing his ground towards spawn, but as they maneuver towards that top site, that power position of Nexa and Nico losing a lot of value with these elapsed seconds. If he gets to Unbreakable and contests the cross, could have caught another and saved another rifle. In fact, it does look like Nexa's in a
kind of aware.
Good chance for a surprise. Glaive's gone. If they can isolate Magisk now, it really does get a little uncomfortable. And they're dinking him. He's gone. No, 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 no.
They have a smoke here. This is starting to become doable for G2.
Zipex palms a little sweaty now. Knees weak. Perhaps there's vomit involved. We'll find out. Bubsky trying to take some initiative. Nico spray. They know he's there now, and he's been found as well. Time-sensitive mission. There is no kit in play, but Nex is already on it. Zipex is so far away, they could just push and defuse. He's even getting tagged. Oh dear, G2 have stolen away the eco victory. I believe he's got time on the defuse.
Yeah, plenty of time for this one right here.
Oh, what a mess that one is.
Oh, no. Okay, well, never mind about just stopping them getting secret and down Ven. They need to make sure they're not losing those type of rounds of Astralis. That was meant to be the third guaranteed. This was just light upgraded pistols. The buy in the previous round was a lot more threatening. There was a lot more pace behind it. and what should have been a lot more chaos. It just felt the slipping of the net into main. Right? Getting that kill into Glaive was the absolute undoing. There you can see just how close it got. But Masters of the time and diffusers on Nuke are G2.
I mean, goodness. Yeah, catching Glaive. Then immediately, Nico's patience actually rewarded. I don't even know. All right, well, we've got some outside smokes. I hope they're all there. Looked like a bit of a flustered throw from Magisk. No gap. Well, no gap smoke, I should say. They're missing one.
Definitely missing one. Is it going to come in late here? What's the go? There it finally lands. And Glaive will make it across just down to a Mach 10 here in round number 4.
Interesting that the entire squad are yard, but didn't choose to go down. They'd rather just linger here in this main cubby.
Amanex rotated back to ramp with the AWP, so forcing these CT rotations, it seems to be working. A lot of space conceded towards yard from G2.
Glaive's going to try and pull as many as he can on the rotate, and now with ramp pressure as well from Zipex. This is very calculated from Astralis.
Well, they know where the AWP is. They can take fights towards heaven a lot more confidently now, knowing that AWP was back of ramp.
And that's the call. Okay, this is very reactionary stuff. Nex is looking for information. He may get more than he bargained for. Yep, Dupree shows his face and the bomb. Jack's second-guessing his decision now because he knows Heaven's a threat, as is main. Like, what's he supposed to do? He opts for Hut.
I guess lobby push is probably the best move. Him and Hunter need to get a move on.
Yeah, get in there quick, and Zipex is there to corral them back into the pincer. They're even mollying Hut. This is so threatening. Loving the Astralis team maneuvers here, but it can all go wrong. Nice find. Hunter's there. And now neutralizes and maintains lobby control. The bomb's on its way through. Bubsky tucked in on that T-Vent. A full role reversal now, as it seems it's G2 on the attack. Good find. Bubsky's gone, and we still have a 3v3 to play out. Hunter has a kit. They can take their time. Rafters is going to be a big issue for Hunter. That's an angle he'll be responsible for. Good flash. Catches Dupree, but this is the angle. Spots a bit of leg. Cheeky ankle.
Save.
Certainly now, Magisk is getting tagged up through the floorboards, and Nico will take a little extra for his efforts. But Astralis, that was well choreographed, and an immediate response to the nasty eco loss.
Yeah, good stuff to pull that one back. They desperately needed to do that. It felt like it should have been 3-0 before coming into the full guns, and now, well, they've actually put G2 in an awkward spot themselves. Guns will have to be dropped across. Money is going to be skimp here, and you can see the reaction, right? Well, they've got yard control, they've got secret control. This is the problem. Maybe if you guys remember VP from many years ago, the famous one with Bialy, Snacks, Taz, all those guys on train, they were so good on the defaults at just kind of pincering in. Well, this is obviously not an equivalent map by any means, but you can see the same theory. Once they take that yard, the CTs are left. They either have to fight one direction or another. They went into lobby, and that forgave the site.
Yeah, they played that really well. Glaive, of course, just going down on the outside smokes, lots of uncertainties. Squeaky blown off. This exchange between Zipex and Hunter. Amanek taking a very aggressive AWP line. I wonder if
might walk into this.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a possibility. It's about patience, though, because even Hunter's wanting to push the issue. Okay, deep clear, hard clear, barrel sticks out, doesn't matter, Zipex slow to react, and now lobby lost. This is a real problem now for Astralis. They might have to slow things down or full commit. Yeah, looks like they're going to try and retake control of lobby here. Yeah,
don't want to overreact to this one, G2. Sure, they have the number advantage, but there's so much time on the clock here for Astralis to work with.
They gave it back.
All right, well, they know that it has to be reclaimed. So Astralis, when they send bodies into lobby, they'll be cautious, they'll be jiggle peeking, they'll be clearing out all the corners, and during all that, yard smokes have been lined on up. Astralis needs some map territory back, and they need it quick. 50 seconds now.
Nico's got nothing but the AK, and he'll tuck in for sound cues. It's the only way he could possibly hope, maybe lurk the smoke. In fact, he actually does find a little gap. It's not the one he was hoping for.
Might be bad info on this.
Could be. He's certainly ready for combat. He knows it's a possibility, and just tucks in time. Main's a problem. They're coming out Squeak as well.
That smoke just landed at 25 seconds. Astralis are screwed.
Yeah, they're in trouble. And now a bad spray from Nico gives them just a bit of more room to maneuver towards this top side. Jack's to be tested.
They drop Van.
Vision, yeah, from Amanek.
10 seconds.
Fence or something. Someone has to give up. Time becoming a problem. Magisk just can't plant. The round falls apart. I think that extra, what was it, 25, let's call it, shaved off by that lobby frag, just leaves Astralis grasping at straws in seconds.
Yeah, and that smoke that landed towards Squeaky Door as well, I think that was a CT smoke super late. So fantastic work from G2 there just to hold on to their util, not feeling too threatened. And Nico, unlucky not to get that opening kill, but this is how it all started, right? Hunter just creeping in on the back of that Amanek AWP. Glaive readjusting, really should have been dead to rights right there. And here's Amanek again, just mopping things on up. So good showing out of G2, but it's going to be hard work to get these gun rounds. Get the coach cam, the split screen, Malik and Zonic. And the buys are happening very, very late for Astralis. We were already down 10 seconds of freeze time, and they were still 10 seconds of round time.
Yeah.
And they were still buying. So they forced all in here. Deagles and 1 AK, util there, but
Be smart about this one, though. Can't afford to concede an early casualty. And smokes towards Yard looks to be the call.
they have enough, right? But bit of damage onto Nexa there. If they don't commit behind these smokes and they don't get any room to help them mid-round with, this is going to be it. Nico's here, about to rear his head.
Yeah, he got a good chance to Glaive here, and oh, it's very quick to it. The in-game leader's down. His full investment starts to set sights on ramp. It's Nexa at half. Can't really expect more than one from him here. Magisk with that AK to try and blow open access. Oof, can't quite get it done. 4 on 4, big find. Astralis now surging towards that ramp position. Nico wants to contest it. That smoke, very suspicious. Astralis can't be running out of time again.
Oh, and Jax has taken Squeaky Room. This is not going to be easy for Astralis at all.
Oh, they're constantly moving around.
It's the silence down for as well.
They'll have to clear it. Oh, and that's another find. Oh, Jax gets 2 towards the top side then. Amanek does not have the best weapon for the job here. He's trying to do 2 jobs at once. Zipex has swung out top side. Bomb to be planted and uncontestable. Dupree on the squeak. Oh, Nico already finding Dupree, puts Zipex on notice, and yeah, too many different angles to be responsible for. Back and forth.
It does feel that G2 in these situations are the ones who have a clearer idea of what they want to do, right? Because they're the ones dictating a lot of these fights. Now, I know that Nico's come up secret there after the wall smokes have already landed, but they know what type of fights they're looking for. Glaive was caught looking the wrong way. Same situation with the lobby push on Zipex. He's obviously aware this team likes to go for that. We learned that very early with G2 once they went international. It was like communication was a problem. Okay, let's just push lobby and take fights. Now they've integrated it in a much more tactful way.
Yeah, I will say that Zipex has the most unenviable job right now of the bunch.
Yeah, just sit lobby and wait for any one of different aggressions.
There's 3 different angles, and they're probably going to know where you sit. They've looked at your demos.
They're probably going to use all of those different avenues to aggress as well. But now we'll see this Astralis just humbled down to the pistols here. Won't be trying to force the issue anymore. Need to build themselves the economy to buy. And it looks like a pop flash through the smoke towards ramp.
Well, Nexus going to be blind as a bat. Turns it nicely. Vision's there. Oh, and Glaive is gone. Bomb as well. Any more? This M4A1 is shredding through the competition. And not much more to report for Astralis. Dupree had a nice jaunt through the yard, stretched his legs.
It's sunny out here.
Caught some vitamin D. At least he's having fun with it.
Yeah, had a smile on his face there.
Important for G2 as well. We learned from the video, if you weren't otherwise uninformed, that this is an important one for G2 for more than just the reason of progressing to the semi-finals. It also would secure them a spot in IEM Cologne, which is next to describe as an event everyone wants to be at. So a big win for them, and they said that they have a very good chance. So in their minds, it's going as planned so far. Train's under the belt.
And they didn't pick us too, so that's a real positive for G2. Here we go again. Oh, here's some more aggression. We were talking about it.
Yeah, he's just going for it with Nico.
Oh.
Whoa, Zipex is not looking, does it just nicely. Oh, Zipex just knocks him down.
Oh, they're still not clearing.
They keep pushing. They still didn't find him. They could line up, but they're spewing it out. And there is the other side of the coin, Chad. We've just witnessed what happens when G2's lobby control. Oh. G2's lobby control falls flat.
Yeah, and the story should still be the same, but let's see how far Amanek wants to push the issue here. Zipex with 2.5 kills on that push. It's like his position wasn't called at all.
Yeah. We were just talking about it as well. Finds the answer, finds the remedy. Amanek. Oh! just before the smoke pops and the no-scope comes out, he'd have been able to elope and find a new angle. That was an important trade.
And an important round for Astralis because they're keeping this G2 money in question. They can buy. They could definitely make it work here, but it's still a conversation. It's not as simple as, okay, I can just buy everything I need. G2 are having to talk through who's going to drop what are they going to be lacking.
And still not clearing it, as you discussed on that third trophy fight.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like that's the thing with that position, that name. That's a very quick, you know, to the point comm that needs to be made clearly. Nice shot there from Amanek, as we just saw. But we're tied up again, 4-4, and an alt bullet rains out towards Yard. So the smokes they've landed. It's diagonal here. Who's going to rotate down? Well, it's not going to be Nico. He's going to fight. Let me tell you that much.
Look at him go. He's got 4 to contend with, and he's just happily tucked in on that warehouse. It is a very messy duel. Nico's gotten away with murder. Takes the head off of the silo player. There was 3 in Yard. He's still alive. Nex is already deeply rotated down. He's the sole defender of the lower site. But Nico just on his second life here. Be amazing if he could provide anything else. Peeks out. Doesn't get anything with the vision denied. Nex had to be Molotov'd out though. It's threatening, but they've still got 2 red, and that's Nico's responsibility. He sees the trajectory. He knows he's got a fight coming. Turns the flash, trying to pepper. Zipex is again finding some impact for Astralis. And now this lower site, it is still 1 man versus 4. They'll have to start rotating through the ramp. Nex is going to be communicating this. He's being hunted, he's being cleared. How good are you, Nex? 1. Bubsky, tight line for the trade. Amanek does return fire. And now that bomb becoming an issue. You can't. They're just peeking into him 1 by 1, and Amanek's having a field day. He's under a lot of scrutiny. Bubsky should have this, but Jax is there to bodyguard, and G2, they deal with the Astralis lower assault.
Yeah, Amanek continuing to look good, doing I guess the lion's share of AWPing duties, right? He's having to wield this in certain situations, and he's actually doing a very serviceable job.
But it's not like his awareness of what he needs to be holding is any different,
just
right?
the weapon he's holding.
Precisely, and he's doing his job. Quote-unquote easiest gun in the game. Well, he's making it look like that.
Okay, well, G2 back in the lead here, but only just.
I don't like the look of those Tech-9s top side. Is there a molly? No, there isn't. They're in. A missed Molotov. It could have ramifications, and it does. Already Hunter's gone. Transfer fails. Jax is down. The bomb could too. Magic's looking to plant it. Bubsky, they just keep applying the pressure. Nexus swinging out from heaven to stop that. But they've created just enough chaos. And now swinging out, Glaive needed that frag, but Nex are very quick on the draw. And damage control, nice work, 3 from the in-game leader. Good
stuff there. Nex was fantastic on the CT side of Train, loving his work there towards that inner bomb site. And here, well, again, necessary rotation. That missed molly, you know how tricky it is, right? Like it's and Jax is traditionally the ramp player. It's only in recent times that this move has happened towards top. Nex are over towards ramp.
It's tough.
In, getting it done.
To get that molly perfect, you have to be throwing it like all in one fluid motion to get it fast enough for the fast spawn. Yeah, precisely. If you do skew whiff it just a little, it's very punishing. Anyone with a quick spawn can be out there with a god flash and you are a dead meat. We saw that in Astralis versus Heroic.
It's a diagonal smoke wall again here. Oh, and more harassment towards lobby. Nex is very close to this, has support. Zipex hears all of this.
And using that diagonal, just as it fades, they leave Magisk in the open. He can't commit to the cross. They've got Glaive down. And Amanek stepping up to the AWPing plate once again. It's a hard line for Glaive to clear, and he is the first body dropped.
Look at what util they're working with here. A minute on the clock, and Astralis have nothing.
God, he's pushed up hut as well. AK Shaw versus the M4. You'd imagine Dupree has a chance if he's clearing. Pretty damn good one, especially if Magisk works on clearing main. But Nico, ready, and does convert. Just 3 now for Astralis to try and make an impact into round 11. Jiggles out, Jax is under trouble, and he's under the thumb. Good find, need another. Hunter with the wall bangs, he's going down as well. They're into the site. Best chance we've seen from Astralis in some time. Dupree planting main side and lobby control maintained. They're so disconnected. This is the least convincing 3v3 we've seen for the retakes. G2 have succeeded many times when we thought that retake was off the table. It's about contact and the order of that contact. Amanek gets away with 1. 2 to flood in heaven. Bubsky, oh, he turned at the wrong moment, couldn't get his crosshair back, and Nico hands out headshots. Another Groundhog Day for Zipex as he's stuck in the hut. They'll take it again. 3v3 down to the wire. Last few seconds left on the clock as G2 do steal away a 7.
Oh dear, I thought Nico was out of that round. I didn't think that retake was going to come in. The AWP through main on his own and then Nico low on HP. It felt like it was just a breeze would have blown him on over, but they did fantastic work to get into this. And this is what we're talking about when we're saying denying control of Yard and denying control of Secret. Sure, they're giving it up in the early stages, but they've always got somebody posted. And that's been key for G2 in some of these rounds. Yeah,
the second from Nico was just so unexpected. Zipex's position, it's great when you've got 2 more teammates. It sucks when you're on your own.
That's another retake that they probably shouldn't be getting away with there. So great stuff from G2, and they've even forced out the first timeout here from Astralis in map number 2. And as we mentioned, if they lose this in flat fashion again, the last 4 maps just getting blown out from Heroic, and then what could be a 2-0 from G2. That's a rough way to leave DreamHack Masters Spring.
Yeah.
Coach Cam here with Zonic having a bit of a chat here. They're not out of this half by any realms. It's 7-4. They will have to take another partial investment here. But 5-6 rounds on the T side, you happy with that? We know that their CT side, the Rifler's in top side. Bubsky's in there. He was having a good game.
Magisk had a great play towards Squeaky as well during that.
That's right, he pushed in, right, through the smoke.
A lot of that. A lot to be looking forward to for Astralis' defense, but I will admit that 5-6 sounds a whole lot better than 4.
That's true.
That's my maths, and that's my contribution. Now they're straight across. It looks a bit sketchy, but it does look like vision is completely obscured.
Nex is down here already. Oh, it's Nico.
Too, yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, they're pushing through the smoke. Nico will hear a lot of this. Readies for the spray and just unloads. 3 straight to the dome. Oh dear. Bomb, bodies, and an 8th.
Yeah, you're not going to get too much out of these 2 pistols right here, and it's quick and over, as you like. These other frags coming on in. Wow, Amanek missing a few, but he's spotted both now, and G2 should slowly clamp on this.
What were we playing the other day, that AWP game mode where we were like clay pigeons?
Oh, Leetski. Yeah, that was a bit of fun.
It kind of reminded me of Amanek there. That was what my shots looked like on Leetski.
As they were flying through the air, yeah. Just a little bit off every time. That's a fun little game mode. We put up a server and had people join. Put the IP out on Twitter. Everyone immediately solved at the safe strat. Yeah. It's very fun. Quick little strafe in.
So, yeah, this is Alex Richardson on Leetski.
All right, 8-4, here we go. Guns back out, no AWP for Astralis on the T side, not needed here. The util is. They got themselves a truckload of nades. 3 aggressive out towards Yard, and nobody was home early, so a bit shy of the mark. Yeah, but this is a great setup for your AWPer. Amanek bringing all the tools you'd hope to see from a CT AWP on Nuke. Now he's dropped a backup smoke for his own retreat. He'll be able to peek and play around that. Stops the silo frag. Back to Yard and stomping now towards the ramp. Next up, oh, he spots Magisk and actually completely concedes control. He'll give it to them. And look how quickly Amanek's there in response. He's already holding the line. He was red container last thing Astralis knew. I think Nico's going towards CT spawn as well here, so this gets awkward for Astralis. The repositioning of G2 is great during this. If they try and go ladder base, there's a crossfire to deal with. If they try and force the issue ramp, they have to get through Amanek and Nexus, so they're going to have to reconsider. And that snake of T's, they slither back on into lobby.
Yeah, it's amazing to see when you're a top side player like Jackson Hunter, how much your team have to do for you so you can stay in those positions.
Yeah, just watching that Hut and Squeaky right now, even main is going to become a bit of a problem here. But the cut of noise, there's no idea where the attack of Astralis is coming on through. 40 seconds remaining.
No more smokes. It will just be contact. Magic's been waiting for this frag a long time. Nexus shows his head and loses it. Towards the top site then. Hunter, Jax ready for war. 28 seconds as Magisk is trying to sell this. Dupree with another. They're flooding into the site, and that was the headshot. Oh, Nico's got more. Any more? That was very stylish. Just the one tap. He's lost Amanek in the process, though, and tapping away not far off the mark for any of these. There it is. It's Bubsky's double into the top site. Astralis just playing a little bit of smoke and mirrors Counter-Strike there to put a 5th on the board.
Yeah, lovely stuff. Denied positioning over towards Yard, right? That was given away by the early AWP, and they reacted immediately off of that. This is once again Astralis reacting when they know what they're up against. It worked for them previously towards Yard when they knew that AWP was ramped. They swarmed and took control of Warehouse. This time around, they knew that the AWP was close up towards T-Red. While they've done the opposite, they've gone and taken the ramp control. And in both occasions, those reactions have paid off. Bit of a giggle there from Sonic, so he's having a good time.
Off the back of a coach timeout as well, worth mentioning. Perhaps that smug look on his face.
Nice contribution, we'll assume.
Yeah, safe assumption to make.
Well, Amanek's AWP has been heard towards Yard again. Dupree will be communicating that one across as they're lining up their smokes for one more time, Astralis.
Nico's in a different position. He's been warehouse a lot. Dupree, ooh, liberties. And holding a tiny gap towards the credit card. He's just slipped the net. Jax was unprepared. Nico's got to find the trade, and Dupree knows it. The top side's looking good. Ready for business. A quick trade. Magic provides. If Glaive... Nico... Okay, they don't spot each other. It's another one for Astralis. Only Amanek. And they know where he is as well. No fun to be had for the French AWP.
Yeah, can't go for this either. They're out of money here for G2. Going to be difficult to defend on the final round of play without the big green.
Well, that was a Dupree entry frag special.
Yeah, and you could almost see the stars aligning with that one there, because as the smokes were still in the air, Dupree was already starting his walk, right? So very quick on that. Nico trying to play around the smoke, seeing if he can find a gap. That variation of the smoke wall has so many different ways to be used, right? It gives you a bit more space if you want to creep into warehouse on the timer. You can go down towards secret. You can obviously do exactly what we saw just there. Creep on in and set up a fast top split as Zipax. He's on the look here. He's on the chase. He's on the hunt. They know where the AWP is. Amanek takes down one. And they'll let him live. So they know that they're up against an AWP in the final round here of the first half. And once again, another competitive first half. We're looking at what probably will, considering the buys, be an G2 8-7. But this will be 3 on the trot here for Astralis to close on out if they can grab this. And well, the AWP was in Glaive's hands, right? Now it's been given over to Dupree. Yeah,
G2 have essentially walked in with Nerf guns and Super Soakers around Amanek's AWP. Let's see how far this gets them. Love a bit of a Nova. Seen some long-range Nova action. Maybe short-range will work magically for Hunter. And that Molotov does not catch him. So the element of surprise present for now. Amanek opting to hold the low site with a very audible vent drop. Haven't seen the wall of smokes just yet out of Astralis. Hasn't stopped, of course, Glaive walking up. Now Amanek, he's going to be stared at. And he's aware of that. Timing, such a crucial component of the game we love. And he's going to be forced forwards and finds Dupree. Quite the punish. Needed that as well. Nico finds another on the swing. Oh, and the round, it hangs in the balance. Good find from Bubsky to keep and return fire. That was one of the rifles. Don't forget, Hunter's only got the shotgun, but they're right up in him. Right next to him in the smoke. He'll tuck into the vent. That doesn't really feel great. Jackson limbo caught. And that's the end of that. Dreaming big with the shotgun. Did take a chunk out of Zipex. But an 8-7 half dude, Astralis are going to be over the moon with that. It's not got guaranteed. Nexa kicks in the bucket for 1. Bubsky brought down to 1 as well. The Amanek clutch, an AWP, the worst weapon for the job. Does have a kit, does have time. If he could just finish off the job, Bubsky doesn't let him. 8-7, all right. Astralis battling for survival in the playoffs, and 8-7 is a pretty damn good haul.
En rampe i mig.
Gå langt, Grant.
Løs,
Der er løs på. Eller kittet der.
Nice, gutter! Sygt, Lukas! Okay, de er langsomme.
Držim plavu. U plavu je defaj Nexa.
Nice!
Job, boys.
Ja li mam premię.
Nie masz, nice!
Side last.
Well, let's give a side this party.
Coming to counter.
Nice!
Nice!
Nice, it was forced by it.
Guys.
Yeah.
Breathe.
Office, dead.
Window,
Window last.
Out.
Nice!
Nice,
guys.
good rotation, good info, boys. Love it.
Job, boys.
Nice.
Door. I'm holding door, guys.
He can spam me.
In hot
Nice!
Nice, guys, very sick.
Sometimes I feel out of touch with myself. Feels like I've been living with somebody else. In the corner of my mind, I feel something getting stranger. Everything's arranging, everything's arranging. In the corner of my mind, all I think about is you. Everything's gonna get better. Everything's gonna get better. Moved into one weather. Everything's gonna get better. Everything's gonna get better. Everything's gonna get better. You and I, my best friend, best friend. You're my best friend, best friend. You're my best friend, best friend. Everything's better when we are together. I always tend to reach for the top shelf. When I feel down, you're the one that I ask for. At the top of the road without all of my damn problems, you're the one that could.
Very competitive first half of our second map of the very first quarter-final. We're here for DreamHack Masters Spring. We've already locked in Gambit and Heroic, and now we're looking to find who's going to face them. Well, G2, they did book themselves a good and solid start with Train. It seems like Astralis definitely have ironed out some of the kinks on their T side. Let's see how our second half fares. Chad Sponge Birchall, the smart one of the bunch, and he is a bit of a sucker for the Julies, converted after finding his very own 4K.
Yeah, look, these Julies, we see them get bought time and time again within the realms of Tier 1, but it's very, very infrequent that we see them doing anything of value, so we'll keep our eyes on Zipax.
Yo, they're going to test ramp heavily. Utility forced out. Magis tucks in. They're doing a full round-the-world maneuver straight up the ladder. And look at Bubsky. Good position. Can't quite control the USP. Looked good for two there. And now Astralis are on the back foot. They've got a bit of a split of this attacking force. Two towards the lobby. Dupree doesn't have the info. Are they waiting for Glaive? I don't know if he's going to be expecting this. Two players just staring at you while the rest of the contact's taken. Hello? Goodbye. Knocked off of the platform. And Jax ain't done either. These USPs they've scavenged have provided some very precise headshots. There's 1 and 2. Magisk making it a competitive 1v4 here, especially now Jax has been forced off the fight. Nico's dropping to the lower side. How smart's Magisk? Is he down the vent? He will be soon. Now he hears those digits being punched. Loudly stampeding towards the decon door. They're posted up. He'd need a one tap and not to be found just yet. Nico ready for action as well. Needs a quick click. Can't find it. Second chance he can. And now Magisk with a 1v4 spectacular. Astralis given a gift and his name is Magisk.
That's some sharp shots. I thought the USPs were only working for G2 there, but he's really just shown up in massive way.
Oi, oi, oi.
That was G2's round every day of the week. They did everything right. This is the part in which they started to get sloppy, right? This death, okay, going for the trade. Amanek doesn't convert. They go towards ramp. They try to be smart about things. And just like this, see you later, Alligator. What a round to win and a nightmare for G2. It couldn't have been any better for them to kick off this second half.
It started so strong, dude. I love the ramp control into heaven take.
The patience.
Yeah. A perfect pistol just rumpled by Magisk.
Daylight robbery right there.
All right, well, G2 have brought everything they could possibly find. Oh dear, Nico's gone, jumps for info, catches a bullet straight to the noggin.
Oh, this is a force buy here as well, and to lose a man this early, real problems now. Hunter needs to find an equalizer with that AK-47.
Yo, you
get
can
the
see
gift.
they're rejigging. Like they know they've just doubled their chances of converting this round just by taking out one of those components off the first fight.
He saw a lot of leg there, Glaive, so repositioning it again here. And
Scout versus Deeg.
yeah, well, they found the scout on the ground, so now it's an even fight. Yeah, Glaive's not going to hang around for any of this. He's already done so much. Can continue to drop into more of these passive lines every time he feels tested, and the rest of his team just need to stand and wait, because look at this, Glaive, hungry for the frags right now, searching for the info, using that movement speed of the scout, and eventually Amanek lays him on down.
It's a huge find.
Sorry,
oh God!
what?
Dupree deleted.
Wasn't it? It was aim punched.
Yeah, exactly, and he was through that tiny slither gap as well.
Oh Jesus!
Not just an AWPer, Chad. Not just an AWPer. He's happy with the early learning center version too.
30 seconds though. G2 still with some problems. Number advantage is there, but they need to get into a bomb site. Heavy around towards ladder, flashes are going up, and they're still not making too much of a move here. Problems as that molly lands. This is not looking good. They have to go ramp.
They do, and Zipex is in the perfect line. Bad spray, bad death. And now the advantage is lost. Anything they could have had
Bubsky scrambling.
could be denied if he could just stop that plant. If he could just somehow find Jackson, smoke the bombs down, and so's the round. Okay, good grief. It was close at the end there.
Jeez, we've just gone from 0 to 100 in both of these rounds in a heartbeat. That second shot from Amanek, what was that all about?
I mean, the first one was like, I didn't see it coming a mile off. He already had the jiggle. Glaive was looking. But Amanek finding two from this position, like, that was great. Glaive punishing Nico's jump. You rarely see anyone going for that. But this spot, conversion, then you're right. He gets a big punch to the face and still finds the brim of the cap.
Oh, and here's the spam through the smoke. We've got our little
Look
smoke
at Jax,
vision
look at his
just here.
health. Look at that. It could have been round winning. I don't think anyone was going to be close enough if he could have just gotten away. Of course, lots of if, buts, and maybes.
Here comes the pace again.
Yeah, it does. Magisk is trying to suppress. Ramp is lost, and Zipex in a one-shot headshot position. He just gets overrun by the MAC-10s. Bubsky does provide some degree of resistance ahead of the Molotov, and a nice shot from Dupree. Getting a bit awkward if they're not careful, because Hunter knees Bubsky. Oh, and he's hit another scorcher. The level in this game is absurd. Deagle from Amanek not expecting a second and can't adjust in time, leaves it all onto Nexa. Astralis have just given him a taste of their own medicine right back.
When it's getting scrimmy, that's where Astralis, you know, you can just see the aim coming into play. When things are late, when things get a bit dicey, G2 just a bit more polished in a game like this, but it does not matter if they can't convert. Yeah, I mean, it looks so hectic, right? You saw Zipex having a very awkward double, triple engagement, but Bubsky pulls it right back into their realm. And their setup is hard to pick flaws in. It's going to be difficult here. What's first point of contact should be Dupree. Is Squeak open? Down towards the lower, no. Never mind. 2 down lower, so he has a one-on-one with that Heaven player. Maybe even gets a plant out of this if he just walks into top, but the problem is, just like I was fooled, you'd assume a couple more bodies here. If you plant safe from Heaven, it is the plant, as you discussed. The doormat reads come on in right now, so this is very fishy for Nexa. Safe plant from that vent swing, or not. Bubsky does finish the job before the plant, and we'll get a nice treat in the form of a Galil for his troubles. Great shooting from Bubsky. Yeah, he will get impact player. That was 3, but the most important 2. Securing that 9th round for Astralis. Let's see that one again. So, great response. He actually gets the trade onto Zipex, which will slow them down. And then this provision from Dupree was great. This was a round winner. Oh, Hunter just denied. And all that space that Hunter had with him there as well just completely evaporates. Nexa would have been loving a plant in this situation, but the guns will come back out. G2 are forcing again. And it has just been the individual prowess right now that is the difference maker in these last few. Glaive taking a lot of liberties there, and that's going to be a powerful position to hold. The only thing that can deny it's a cross smoke. Doesn't look like from the G2's positioning that's going anywhere time soon. Silo heard. It's a hard clear, but he needs Dupree to stay alive, or this becomes very, very difficult for Glaive. And with Hunter falling back, these could be heard. Glaive might even start investigating a bit of a push here if the coast seems clear for too long. Oh, if they do outside smokes, they're not. Okay, so that's towards the locker side. Yeah, Glaive can call all of this clear. No problems at all for Astralis. They can stay Very strong towards top and ramp.
Not the perfect weapon for this job. Doesn't get that precision, and ramp is lost. Zipex completely falls out of it, and they've flood on in. They've got 45 seconds to work their magic. It is a 2-3 split towards the lower and top site.
They go back towards top.
Back to the lobby.
It's going to be a squeaky walkout then, surely. Hut's too dangerous late, and there's still players on top.
Sketchy.
Sub 30.
Real sketchy. Bubsky just takes a little bit of contact. Hunter with the bomb, no less, but he's taken the frag as well. Bubsky got a lot to do. Magiskin support does drop the bomb and their star player. And so hopes and dreams really hinge on the next frag in the next 10 seconds. Good find from Jax. What? 2 frags. And just like that, they're doing it again. These G2, 10 seconds, and they've gotten it down. That's we had so much of that on train, and it's just come back again. This time on the T side, G2, these last bursts of frags, Jax just saves them with 2.
I want to see what happened there with the top hole, because Bubsky was top heart. A nade was pulled out. It was thrown in. What on earth just happened?
That was Astralis every day of the week.
That felt so good. They had completely denied. They knew at 20 seconds that they were coming topside.
Take a screenshot of 4 Ts in lobby at 20 seconds and then take a screenshot of a 1v3 saving an org.
What on earth?
Yeah, that's funky. No fun at all to be had.
I can't tell if it's just more beastly shots. I'm sure we're about to find out right here in the replay. Jack's walking away with 3 kills in this one. Here we go. So coming out, top hut, but
look at the scrap of heads. Yikes! Yo! I told you he's a laser beam, dude. He's like 60 years old, but he plays like a sci-fi character.
I want to say they gave them that one there, really, didn't they?
No, he took that by force.
He definitely had to hit those shots,
yeah,
but
okay.
Oh my lord.
I mean, the position on top of Hut, you think you're safe, but just that tiny baseball cap.
Jeez, okay, here we go again.
Jaxie boy.
It's not the full force by here. It's just going to be upgrades into Deagles and a Scout. The blocking in the vent as well for fun. Oh, okay, recovering still. Debris thinks he's versing Na'Vi right now. Boomich ain't home, mate. Nobody was that part of the yard just yet, and still recovering. I'm sure Astralis are as well. 17 for Nico, 17 for Amanek.
Okay, Glaive does land a tag and will get away completely scot-free. Quite the opposite for Nico as a nade lands right on his chest.
Everyone's out towards yard here.
Yeah, this could be quite the brawl. Boosting back up to contest on Heaven's side. They'll get one of those inner players to assist. Very loud about this. Magisk, Zipex, both ready to put bullets down range. There's 3 points of contention here. This looks good for the CTs, especially now.
Oh, come on, guys.
Of course they are. Of course they are. They're scrimming yard, and it's Astralis right back with some of their own magic. 2 for Just Eagle. And they've all fallen apart. Just put a fork in it. That is Astralis 10th and their 3rd here on the CT side. They have traded rounds. If we can bring up the round recap. Yeah, guys, great minds think alike. Take a look at this. Just back and forth nonsense from both of them.
Oh, what a brawl we've got here in the second half.
It's 2 drunken bare-knuckle brawlers just windmilling themselves.
And the thing is, right, with the different approaches that G2 have tried in these rounds, right, they've gone ramp together. They've tried to flood into the lower site together. They get picked apart by Deagles. Here they've gone, all right, look, we'll go somewhere where we can use the
Long
AK,
range,
take a couple of fights. Oh, Alex Bay says it all. What are you meant to get away with here?
No, guys, I'm not angry.
Just breathe.
I'm just disappointed.
Just breathe, all right? That's what he's been saying. Just breathe. You need to do a lot of that right now because we're tied up. 10-10. I don't know who's going to come out on top with the first 2 consecutive rounds here because they're force buying again. G2, they're getting some AKs back out on the deck. Nexa can do the same. Amanek and Hunter, well, they might be down to pistols, but it's still going to look like a deadly buy because Astralis, they've been unable to stabilize. Scout, UMP, MAC-10, a couple of AKs. Oof, all right. Who's going to break serve first? Glaive's Molly to deny the smoke wall.
Tiebreaker analogy couldn't be better, really, considering these 2 and the state of play. 10-10. Glaive investigating that smoke like Tin. Oh, what a good double tag. Collateral with the Scout. Bubsky finishes what his leader started into a 4-on-3. Lower site control with the bomb, no less. Hunter is the president. The other three here to protect. They need to get that bomb down, and they've already got a man advantage, Chad. What's the lay of the land here?
Right now in towards the lower bomb site, they need to get past Zipex, right? And he's this Molly, the Smoke, and the MAC-10, but his positioning against these pistols could be perfect. Sound cues need to be given.
And it does look like that AK is going to be there in time.
Oh, this is looking very, very good for Astralis now.
Yeah, if he can just tuck in on this ramp, he can hold decon and contest the windows. He's going dark. And no one has tested him. Now he's in a power position. This crossfire is potent.
How far are they going to run down the clock here, G2? We know they love getting it down to those final 20, but door's already open. Smoke is out. Can they deny?
Hunter's very hesitant on that door, and Magis could deny this here. It's a fake. He draws them both out into the center of the site. Now they can punish. It's a good idea. The headshots have come in. Hunter long range with the Tech 9 does lay down the law, and now the door into Astralis 11th has been closed. Bang.
And we continue the back and forth nature. Absolutely mental scenes there. Both of them got involved in that action. You just saw a desperate looking Astralis. Because if the bomb goes down in the smoke and all the players are out of sight, out of mind, the post plant's already set up.
And how cool was it that by Hunter, you know, it's so easy to be trigger happy with decon, but he just showed, you know, there's power in that. They were staring at it. They know it's a power position to punish dark, but just being hesitant on it, letting them fake. And you saw Zipex, Hunter, both just desperately jumping into the site. Amanek baiting it nicely. Not Hunter, that makes no sense. He's not wearing an Astralis jersey, but you understand my point.
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about
now
here.
then,
and of course, we got another force.
Yeah, but they're already taking a little bit of a fight. Nico's peeking on his repeat.
Glaive's going to be open.
Yeah, they spotted him. Hunter will have recalled that information, and Glaive immediately chooses to pull the ripcord and get out of there. Dupree sticking out like a sore thumb. Tracer fire from Zipex trying to punish. Looks like Glaive is being hunted down, and Hunter's opting for the Tech 9. He's not got time for a reload. He'd rather take more frags too, in fact, before he's silenced.
Meanwhile, they're on B.
All of that was just the distraction. That was just the puff of smoke.
Yeah, I think G2 are looking great now for 2 consecutive rounds. The first team to do it here within this second half, and Astralis as they backpedal out a ramp.
Our first 6. Just swapping back and forth.
This is the Force by Wars, right? This is we got a true showing of the Force by Wars here today.
Yeah, Astralis did have to buck the trend though, save some pennies.
They're just picking up rubbish though, aren't they? Really, you know, it's like a MAC-10. Oh, we got a MAC-10, a Scout, and a Famine.
Yeah.
Do we really want to save this?
Like the metaphor is, they've got those bin tweezers. You know those long ones.
Yes.
You used to have it on school duty.
Yep.
And they're just walking around picking
You
up
must have gone
Walker's
to a
crisp
nice
packets.
school.
Well, you didn't. We had like one kid every day. I think one day a year, you were on the trash duty.
We just had to do it with our hands.
Oh, well, we had a fancy Twiggly Biggly.
No, we didn't get any of that actually.
No,
No,
Twiggly Biggly. What on earth am I saying? People listen to this, Alex. Real human beings.
Some people even like it.
Well, that's the weird part.
Okay, well, G2, the first team to string 2 consecutive. We've got that one through. So we're breaking record here.
I will also start building the blocks of G2, picking this up, a spot in Cologne, and a sweet semi-final bout. Which side of the bracket are they on, actually? I'm afraid I'm going to have to find that answer for you during this round.
I think it's Gambit's side.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Hasn't been the all-in right here from Astralis. Still holding on to a bit. Glaive and just continuing to try and be disruptive towards Yard. Not an easy position to play by any means. Now he's been smoked out to deny. Molotov towards Credit Card as Bubsky and Glaive both to send down the vents here to deal with what could be the lost secret. More isolation smokes than space taken, and this is where I think G2 can do some of their best work. Hunter again, quickly mounting on up towards
Look
the
at
heaven
that
position.
smoke. That is not an easy one to throw.
Yeah, these isolation smokes they've been throwing are perfect.
It is Gambit's side of the bracket, Chad. You're absolutely bang on.
Oh, could be a bit of a biff here. If Zipex takes first contact, they'll swing wide and Dupree can convert.
Center of mass, and nearly a triple. Dupree has done enough damage to really get G2 up in arms, especially considering what he's walking. He's walking into a trap here. Nice find. Distractions there, and a double from Bubsky as well. Astralis are making nothing feel like everything. They had just pistols, deagles, scouts. Now they leave with AKs and a round. They continue to trade blows. G2 stringing 2 together, Astralis immediately say no.
And that was with the saved guns that they had, right? And they didn't even fully investigate into this one. They kept their money in a very honest place. So Astralis are not out of this game just yet. The scoreline is going to be 12-11. Nico's going to want to hold on to this AK-47. There'll be enough money for his team to get a buy going. But it just seems, I don't want to say, no, it is. It's very gambly from both of these teams, right? Because they're almost all-ins in a lot of these scenarios. It's like, if we get to this, oh, he's gone down after time. Absolute nightmare fuel right there.
He's got $5 in the bank. He's not going to be punching a hole in his desk, but this would certainly make me look at that lineup from Dupree. Really set up for success, baited in by the scout shot. Crosshairs are in the wrong place. And the same could be said for their crosshair lower. You could see that with Bubsky's positioning, he was only going to take contact when Vents was taking contact. And that was a big part and a big parcel of why they got double kills in both of those exchanges.
But you see what territory they knew they had lost and what territory they were playing for, right? This is very important. And oh, an extra drop gun as well. Nex is already dead. Things are going from bad to worse for G2 here.
They absolutely are. Undeterred by the flash, Bubsky and loads of mag into Nexa and that squeaky door position. This is far from a guarantee for G2. It's so funny how quickly and volatile their gameplay can look convincing and then the opposite.
And Vertigo next is map number 3.
Ooh, I would love it. Plus, our next best of 3 doesn't start till 8, so I'm down for the full ride.
Yeah, we should probably fill the time for everybody at home.
Yeah. People have cancelled plans for this.
It's a Friday night and everything.
Couple of cold waters with the boys.
Well, there goes the smokes, just a standard set coming on out here. And, well, standard, speak of that, Glaive gets his one way up.
They'll be ready for this.
Seen plenty of this.
You know he throws it. You see it right in front of your noses. What is the counter to it? You can't wait it out. You can just slip down secret and contest later on. Oh, it's got them nervous. Look at them all. Like a mother's meeting. He will drop out. They just bide time. And now he's got an incendiary to peek above. It's a hard shot now for the T's with the distortion of the flames. They are holding it though. Yeah, it's pretty uncomfortable. They have so much info. Glaive has just kept an entire team at bay. Just cycling through his util. Anybody want to hunt me? 25 dudes, where's the bomb? What are you doing? 20, here they go. G2, in classic G2 fashion, are about to try and piece together a full site take in 15 seconds. The bomb's loose, Hunter can't trade, and that's the round. Nico trying to be the hero, he just can't. Glaive, just through the presence of his util, never mind the presence of him, he's just won him around.
And the frustration has to be starting to mount for G2 because you consider the rounds that they were losing. I know both teams were losing 4 spies early, but you consider the types of rounds that they were losing to Deagles over and over again, and then you go into a round you're losing in this situation where your in-game leader dies immediately, you dropped an extra gun, and then you're absolutely denied just by one smoke. They were denied by one smoke of Glaive there. He did so much just from that $300 investment. He basically won the round right there and then. G2 have been humbled. Down to pistols.
This one's going to hurt. Magis just decides to bring the fight to them. Don't give them time to find the picks, to steal a weapon away and group up.
There's an extra string in the step of Astralis right here. If they convert this one, I think they're just going to close this one out, and we will be seeing that third, because G2 are starting to look more and more unraveled with, look, I don't want to say the decision-making, but the frustration, I think, in the server probably starting to build now.
And I'm sure you can't count on those 20 seconds left full site takes. You know, like, those are supposed to be the flash in the pan.
Yeah, you can't have a consistent style gameplay with that by any means. Or with only that by any means.
Yeah, you definitely need a couple more. I want to say strings to your bow, but that is not how all bows work.
Yeah,
is
but
it?
Maybe...
Is it? Do you add more string to your bow?
Maybe to make it stronger? I don't know. I've never made a bow.
Maybe it's a combination of twine, and so by adding more strings to your bow, it's got more oomph.
You got to pull it back a bit. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not really up on bow terminology.
Any Fletchers in the chat, let us know.
Yeah, what are we talking about when we make that saying? Let us know. Oh, 30 seconds, they're staring at smokes. Dupree takes an easy one. I'm going to go with a new version when we have rounds like this. So for those of you who are used to joining us, normally when this starts, I'll go, all right, so you're going to see them sit around for about a minute, and they're going to waste all the CT utilities, so they have to reinvest. But what I will do from now on is I'll wait until the end so that we can talk about that at the end of the round when the action's going on.
Okay, yeah, no, I like that.
It's like the opposite of
just
what you meant to do.
Just flipping the script.
Yeah, just trying to keep people on their toes.
Well, it must get to a point where they can see it coming. as I'm sure Astralis did here. They were just happy to be collecting. Zipex padding the stats nicely as he chases that positive KD. And speaking of, here are your scores.
This is a very important timeout being taken from G2 here. I think the decision that comes off of the back of this the extra 30 seconds they've just been granted could determine their fate. So Malik getting on the mic here. You can see Zonic and Malik, respective coaches of either team, just weighing on in if they need to. Things are going pretty good on Zonic's side there as he just takes a sip of chilled water. But this is for G2 a very important round, and they have not been able to stabilize here in the second half, right? It's not like they have a clear flow. They haven't been faking them with certain utility. They're not using the same smoke wall. They're not dropping somebody down the vent. There's nothing really quite thorny for Astralis to be worried about in terms of the flow of this game.
Back to his power position. Don't forget, Glaive won a round without firing a single bullet. In the previous, admittedly off the back of a Bubsky frag. Maybe he'll find another as he contests that squeak. They do want to test Zipex, it seems. And here's a quick tutorial from Glaive on his one-way if anyone's struggling. So the second line of the stairs, little left click, and one-way.
Yeah, lots of info taken from this here. They'll be aware, G2. Hunter's on top main. Throwing their isolation smokes.
Knows Glaive's not going to be challenging him out for that, so can take some info back. Oh, he has dropped off though, and that will get Bubsky alert and through the smoke as it fades. That's a Bubsky frag. Can G2 overcome the man disadvantage? It has really slowed them down before, and it's extended this time by Dupree. Puts Jax on the floor. No chance now. 50 seconds, at least one from Nico. He wants to try and keep top site rotates housed. It was Bubsky that does go down. Oh, and Nico catching Dupree's hunt. Glaive's in the vents as well, just to house them. Huts of risk. Magisk is ready. And that's a big find from Amanek. G2 are doing what G2 do best. Thriving within this mad mid-round chaos. Nico starts something and he's going to finish it. No, Glaive denies a hard spray, but he finds Nexa as well. And Amanek just doesn't have the health for a 1v2. He'd have to find the first perfectly, and it's such a predictable position. He's paranoid about heaven, it's lobby. Glaive cutting noise. Amanek uncomfortable now. Oh, but a step. Still paranoid about that heaven position and jumping to clear it. Glaive does a lot for Astralis there. In true G2 fashion, they do manage to fashion something out of those early losses, but it is Astralis chasing Vertigo as our third.
Yeah, that was fantastic work there not to get too unraveled. And that second kill from Glaive on the long-range spam was huge. Huge stuff there indeed. This is the rotation over from Dupree, catches a quick one. And you could see what they were going with this squeaky fight, right? Where you could see Dupree coming into main. So much noise vent, exactly that, right? Nico's reaction, perfect. This second one, round winning from Glaive. And Amanek, nowhere to go. Isolated. Finished off and 14 to 12. Mac-10s are out. Looks like it's going to be G2 going all in on this one. Fast ramp.
Yeah, they got the AWP here as well. 2 to ramp. Dupree immediately descends, and now here comes the test. Chasing Zipex. Don't want to let him get away with this, but he's taking them all down with him. Look at the tracer fire. Perfectly tracking their descent mid-air. Nico can't do anything against Zipex. He's on for an ace to finish it. Hunter's there to finish his job and cancel those plans. But up against the AWP, he's got nothing. Astralis firmly in the driving seat now and pedal to the metal. One round separating us from a third map to separate these two.
I think here when you take a look at once the economy was established for Astralis, we know the force by war has happened, but once they were able to get themselves up with the full rifles, been looking a bit stronger here. Down the final stretch. Zipex was scrambling for any kind of gun there that he could get his hands on for the final kill. But he has to be happy with that one. And there's the smiles on the faces again of Astralis. Yeah, the third map, Vertigo, is where we get into a real conversation. A real conversation because at that point, I don't have a favorite anymore, right? Coming into today, I didn't have a favorite. I kind of got swayed a little bit by G2 in that opening map. And now we're back on.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Astralis kept it to an 8-7 half and then managed to cause so many problems for G2 in the early stages of our second, it's led us here. 3 map points in the quarterfinals.
Our pace didn't work, Alex. So, yeah, I was about to say the same thing. See what they got for us. This looks like their default. Not an early smoke wall, trying to stop Glaive aggressive. Dupree's already rotated down towards Secret. Now, they've been usually told that there's a player in towards Secret by Glaive smoke, so Dupree might get an opportunity here to go for a frag or two.
Especially if they have any sort of contact with Glaive. Okay, he's got himself into position and does just take a cursory glance towards that silo peak. Doesn't see anything, nothing to report.
They're past. They're making it into main.
Don't speak too soon. They have to get through Magis. Glaive very capable of a reactionary swing here. It's fading. Glaive's open. Glaive's open. And he does go down. 2, in fact, in the feed for G2. If they can find Magis, it's on. But he's standing strong with 2 in the zone. Okay. Zipex ready to contest and does well to put the bomb on the floor, but it's not quite over yet. Instead, AWP versus AK is established. Hunter drops smoke, try and bait the push out of Dupree, and it's worked wonderfully. Smart play from Hunter there. Goes for the fight instead of that awkward 1v1, and will take an AWP for his T-side hunt. 2 map points.
All right, well, another crack for Astralis coming on up here. And the conversation just there, the reason Hunter didn't pick that up immediately, for those of you playing at home, he's asking, do we want the AWP going forward? And clearly they do. Oh, another sketchy situation, but I can't believe they crept into main like that. They just waited for that smoke fade, and that was a fantastic way to find some entry. So punishing the gap of Astralis helps get the 13th.
I'm amazed he didn't even need to fake. I guess Dupree was just operating under, like, you know, you start making so many assumptions, you have a visual in your head almost as to what your opposition's doing. He just exploited that.
Yeah, I think right there from Hunter, the fact that I didn't catch it until you said it. Oh, that's why he's dropping that smoke, right? He's hoping exactly that play happens. So Hunter, in a difficult situation, steps up in a big way, and for him right now, he's sitting at the top of the scoreboard with his cousin Nico, 22 apiece. Looking very good, the cousins. They're going to need to do a little bit more here, and this AWP for Nico, the fact that they've opted to go for this, right, they could have had another AK in play here. Needs to find some impact with it. Charles are fully set for their buy.
Trying to hit them with the Bosnian LAN Hall special. Now Glaive's in trouble. Will have to drop his smoke defensively. Well, at least that's one. Okay, one way to deny it. Nade's gonna hurt. Not really. Spoke way too soon on that one.
But he's hanging around.
Yeah, he doesn't really want to let up. He's got a cheeky little one-way after extinguishing it. And Nico,
oh my God,
will not be expecting this. I can guarantee you he will not be expecting the CT to have pushed red. They're doing outside smokes. Glaive can destabilize everything here, Chad. And now he's going for it, just trying to catch the timing as they walk up. They've got their bloody knives out. No one's expecting this. He only gets the one. They did line up. Jax just takes a little extra pepper. Okay, well, that's mission accomplished in some respects. They are, however, limping. 2 bodies dropped as they descend. Has Hunter got, excuse me, who's that down there? It's Bubsky. Has he got the util for this? He's just going to have to jump and flash. Yeah, no fun. He's left the door open, though, trying to entice them down into those ramp lines. That is a big part of this puzzle done for them, but he's trying to lull them into this angle. He's got a very powerful position for that doors fight. But as Jax slips windows, it loses its potency. Zipex can't really bodyguard too much. A flash to try and buy time. 20 seconds. Nico's hit pause, letting Jax work. And off the flash, they do convert. G2 looking good for a plant here. Dupree still staring at the vents.
They have to save, Alex.
$50 on Zipex. Yeah, I think they've just been pulled off. The dog's called off by Zonic.
They had to save that. That you could see the realization, right? As soon as those kills came lower, there was really no avenue back in. It wasn't like it was a chaotic situation where these 2 riflers, or the AWP and the rifle, were close enough to help get into some fights.
But you could see the setup. Sorry to interrupt you, but, you know, we saw Zipex and Bubsky.
It looked good.
It looked perfect, but that flash, the peak, the order of the contact that G2 have had, it's all been ironed out a little more pristine than you may expect. The door swings open from Amanek to make sure that he doesn't get more from that position. Where did the flash come from? Was that through doors?
I didn't quite catch it
because the vision was gone so quick. Caught me by surprise. All right, well, one more try, one more stab. They've had 2 attempts so far. A third map point jab, and they are going to take a tactical timeout prior to it, making sure Zonic can screw their heads on tight, take some time with the buy.
The amount of these situations that G2 have converted this game from being 1 or 2 players down is insane. They shouldn't be getting away with a lot of this, and it's great to see that they're staying poised and calm. You know, they're not just losing these kills and they're out of the rounds. But do we have overtime on the docket, or are we done here for map number 2? Astralis, with those saves, they've been guaranteed a full buy, everything they need.
Bin duty, that's what it was called.
Yeah.
Just came through the met. What's a brain? Cerebral cortex. That's a brain part.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, it sounds good.
Yeah, close enough. It's a big round then for G2. They have managed to, well, be kept honest to stringing together 2 consecutive rounds. This would be the 3rd consecutive round to avoid the Astralis W, doing the impossible or the never before done here on their attacking half. Pretty good position to do it as well. Got all the bells and whistles. Typical exchanges towards that squeaky door. No hole blown in it just yet.
They're not contesting yard at all. They have a very passive setup here. You can see Glaive, the back of the warehouse, just covering off towards main. Dupree's already dropped towards lower with that AWP. And G2 was set up for a lobby push, right? They have so many bodies over towards lobby, and then they're going back towards yard with these smokes. Glaive has been hyper-aggressive. He's been in their face. He's been making things awkward, so they can't just rest on their laurels that now he's going to respect it. Smoke wall is starting to land. And remember, Dupree is down towards lower.
Yeah, 2 waves to the smokes. They do the cross first, hoping to bait Glaive into Nico. Now the smokes will bloom. It looks like they've got a huge gap.
Yeah, this is not good. This is not good at all.
Or they just want to take the fight. It's like warehouse.
It's awkward.
It's very weird. Oh, God. 40 seconds, dudes. And this is for the game.
Glaive's going to shoot them in the back as they come into main.
Yeah. Especially Jack's on notice in lobby. Here they come. A flash is not bad. They know where he is. Through the smoke. They're low, and he finishes them off. It's Magisk. A lot more work to be done, though, for the T's. Nexa has found another, and through the flames, Magisk keeps them at way. My goodness, he's on for all 5. Well, Astralis, call upon Magisk one more time. He's chasing 30. He has had a great game on Nuke. Nico in a 1 versus 2 now by his own design. Spots Magisk, and well aware that Glaive was in the warehouse. He can do this. He can do this now. No, he can't. Okay. Looked possible. 16 to 14. We're off to Vertigo though, Chad, and I think a lot of people, including the desk, hotly anticipating that clash. We'll be breaking it down, of course, understanding how we got here with our analyst desk in just a moment. Do stay tuned. DreamHack Masters Spring, back in a bit.